Good morning, students. This is Sivakrishna from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, TBS Institute of Technology, Kavali. Today I am going to presentation on design of bearings. So this is the Unit 3, Design of Machine Members 2 subject name. So this is the Unit 3, the continuation topic from the design of bearings. So last class we can discuss about the introduction to bearing, classification of bearings, types of sliding contact bearings, hydrodynamic lubricated bearings, assumptions in hydrodynamic lubricated bearings, properties of sliding contact bearings material, materials used for sliding contact bearings. So what are the lubricants used for the bearings? The terms used in the hydrodynamic general bearing. So in this PPT we can discuss about the continuation topic from the design of bearing. So coefficient of friction for general bearing, critical pressure of the general bearings, Sommerfeld number, heat generated in a general bearing, design procedure for general bearing, and finally the problems of general bearing. So this is the today topic we discussed in this PPT. So let us start the class. So coefficient of friction for general bearing. In order to determine the coefficient of friction for well lubricated full general bearings, the following inertial relation established by MC key based on the experimental data may be used. So the coefficient of friction mu is equal to 33 divided by 10 power 8 Zn by P into D by C plus K, where Z is in kg per meter second and P is in Newton per mm square, where Z, N, P, D and C have usual meaning A discussed in previous article, and K is factor to correct for end leakage. It depends upon the ratio of the length to the diameter of the bearing. So that is ratio of the length is L by D. K is equal to coefficient of friction, K equal to 0.002 for L by D radians of 0.75 to 2.8. L by D radians of 0.75 to 2.8. The operating values of Zn by P should be compared with the values given in the table to ensure safe margin between operating conditions and the point of film breaking. So the operating values we can compare it to the Zn by P. We can see the table. We can see the tabular column. So what is the tabular column provided in the coefficient of friction for the general bearing Zn by P ratios? So this is the tabular column. Design value for the general bearing. So in this tabular column is given machinery bearings, maximum bearing pressure P in Newton per mm square. Next operating values. So absolute viscosity Z in kg per meter second. Zn by P is Z in kg per meter second and P is Newton per mm square, and C by D. Next L by D. So this is the tabular column. We can see the Jaladhan data book also. We can see the data book. So this tabular column is given in the data book also. So let's start with what is a machinery. So automobile and aircraft engine. The first machinery is automobile and aircraft engine. The bearing is main crank pin, wrist pin. So this is the bearing, main crank pin and wrist pin. The maximum bearing pressure is 5.6 to 12 Newton per mm square. So 10.5 to 24.5, 16 to 35. So this is the maximum bearing pressure, and operating values is absolute values in Z 0.007 and 0.008, 0.008. Zn by P is Z is a kg per meter second and P is a Newton per mm square. So this is the 2.1 and 1.2, 1.12. C by D is none, and L by D equal to 0.8 to 1.8, 0.7 to 1.4, and 1.5 to 2.2. So this is the, you can see the tabular column. This tabular column you can use to the problems also. So this is the machineries. So what are the machineries? Are 4-stroke gas and oil engines, 2-stroke gas and oil engines, marine steam engines, stationary slow speed steam engines, stationary high speed steam engines, reciprocating pumps and compressors, steam locomotives. So these are the machineries used from the design values for the general bearings. So we can see the table column also. So next, critical pressure for the general bearing. So what is the critical pressure in the general bearing? So the pressure at which the oil film breaks down. So the metal to metal contact bearing is known as critical pressure or the minimum operating pressure of the bearing. It may be obtained by the following empirical relation, that is critical pressure or minimum operating pressure. The critical pressure is the pressure at which the oil film breakdown the metal to metal contact bearing is known as critical pressure. So the following empirical relation is P is equal to Zn by 4.75 into 10 power 6 Cc whole square into D by C whole square into L by D plus C Newton mm square. That is where Z is kg per meter second. The critical pressure formula P is Zn by 4.75 into 10 power 6 D by C whole square. So L by D plus C Newton per mm square. Sommerfeld number. So what is the Sommerfeld number? The Sommerfeld number is also dimensionless parameter used extensively in the design of general bearing. So Sommerfeld number is also dimensional parameter. So it is the designing for the general bearing. So mathematically it can be represented as Sommerfeld number equal to Zn by P into D by C whole square. For design purpose, this value is taken as follows: Zn by P into D by C whole square equal to 14.3 into 10 power 6. So where Z in kg per meter second and P is in Newton per mm square. So this is the critical pressure of the general bearing and Sommerfeld number. Next, heat generated in the general bearing. The heat generated in the bearing is to the fluid friction and friction to the parts having relative motion. So mathematically heat generated in bearing is, so mathematically it can be represented as Qg is equal to mu into W into V into V, mu W V. So Newton per meter second or joule per second or watts. So this is the equation number 1, where mu is equal to coefficient of friction, W is equal to load on the bearing in Newton. Qg is equal to pressure on the bearing in Newton per mm square into projected area of the bearing in mm square, that equal to P into L into D. V is equal to rubbing velocity in meter per second, so that is pi d n by 60, where D is in meters and n equal to speed of the journal in RPM. So continuation the heat generated in the general bearing. After the thermal equilibrium has been reached, heat will be dissipated at the outer surface of the bearing at the same rate at which it is generated in the oil film. The amount of heat dissipated will depend upon the temperature differences, size and mass of the radiating surfaces, and on the amount of air flowing around the bearing. However, for the convenience in the bearing design, the actual heat dissipating area may be expressed in terms of the projected area of the journal. The heat dissipated by the bearing is Qd is equal to Ca into Tb minus Ta, joule second or watts. Since 1 joule per second is equal to 1 watt. So this is the equation number 2. Where C is the heat dissipated coefficient in W by m square or degree centigrade. So watts or meter square or degree centigrade, where A is projected area of the bearing in meter square, that is called L into the length into depth. TB is temperature of the bearing surface in degree centigrade, and TA equal to temperature of the surrounding air in degree centigrade. So the value of C has been determined experimentally by O. So the value depends upon the type of bearing, its ventilation and the temperature differences. The average value of C in watt per meter square per degree centigrade for a general bearing may be taken as follows. For unventilated bearings, that is still air, equal to 140 to 420 watt per meter square per degree centigrade. For well ventilated bearing, that is equal to 490 to 1400 watt per meter square per degree centigrade. So it has been shown by experiments that the temperature of the bearing TB is approximately midway between the temperature of the oil film T0 and the temperature of the outside air TA. In the other words, TB minus TA equal to 1 by 2 into T0 minus TA. This is the formula. So next, design procedure for the general bearing. So what is the design procedure for the general bearing? So the following procedure may be adopted in designing general bearing when the bearing load, the diameter of the speed of the shaft are known. So determine the bearing length by choosing the ratio L by D from the above table. So first of all, you can determine the bearing length. We can choosing the ratio is L by D from the above table. So above table means we can see the table in the second slide. So this is the tabular column. So this tabular column L by D is given to the bearing diameter, bearing length each by choosing ratio. So next, check the bearing pressure. P is equal to W by L into D from the above table for probable satisfactory value. So for checking the bearing pressure, P is equal to, so you can see the tabular column. So bearing pressure. So this to be calculated, pressure bearing pressure P is to be taken. So what material is used? So what type of bearing pressure is used? So the tabular column, you can see the tabular column. So what type of material you can use it? So this will be noted down the calculating the problem. So next step, next procedure. Assume a lubricant from the above table and its operating temperature T0. This temperature should be between 26.5 degrees centigrade to 60 degrees centigrade with 82 degrees centigrade as a maximum for high temperature installations such as steam turbines. So assume the lubrications of the operating temperatures. So assume the tabular column. So we can tabular column. So above tabular column we can see the, so assume absolute velocity. So the tabular column C. So you can note down the operating temperature. This operating temperature is between 26.5 degrees centigrade to and 60 degrees centigrade. So this is the minimum, and maximum high temperature illustration is 82 degrees centigrade. This is the maximum temperature illustration. So this type of temperature is used in the steam turbines. So next procedure, next step, determine the operating values of Z by P for the assumed bearing temperature and check this value with corresponding values in the table to determine the possibility of maintaining fluid film operating. So next, so determine the operating values Z by P. So this table we can see the Z by P value is also taken into the table column. So this type of operation you can use the bearing temperature and check the values corresponding. So determine the possibility of maintaining fluid flow operation is used in this type of procedure. So next step, assume a clearance ratio C by D from the above table. So we can see the clearance ratio C by D if we can see in the above tabular also. So next, determine the coefficient of friction mu by using the relation is discussed in article 26.15. Next step, determine the heat generated by using the relation as discussed in article 26.18. Next, determine the heat dissipated by using the relation as discussed. Next, last step, determine the thermal equilibrium to see that the heat dissipated becomes at equal to the heat generated. In case of heat generated is more than the heat dissipated, then either the bearing is redesigned or it is artificially cooled by water. So this is the design procedure for the general bearings. So next, problems on the general bearing. Let's start the problems. This is the first problem. So design a general bearing for a centrifugal pump for the following data. So load of the general is 20,000 Newton. Speed of the general is 900 rpm. So type of oil is SAE 10, for which the absolute viscosity at 55 degrees centigrade, that equal to 0.017 kg per meter second. Ambient temperature of oil 15.5 degrees centigrade. Maximum bearing pressure for the pump 1.5 Newton per mm square. So calculate also mass of the lubricating oil required for artificial cooling. If rise of temperature for oil be limited to 10 degrees centigrade, heat dissipation coefficient, so that is 1232 watt per meter square per degree centigrade. So this is the problem. So first note in the given data. So given W, so load general bearing. So load W equal to 20,000 Newton. Speed of the general N is equal to 9,000 rpm. Next, absolute temperature T0 is equal to 50 degrees centigrade. Z is equal to 0.017 kg per meter second. Next, ambient temperature TA equal to 15.5 degrees centigrade. Bearing pressure P equal to 1.5 Newton per mm square. So next, temperature of the oil T is equal, rise in temperature of the oil T is equal to 10 degrees centigrade. Dissipation coefficient C is equal to 1232 watt per meter square per degree centigrade. So the general bearing is designed as discussed in the following steps. The first step, first of all, let us find the length of the general bearing L. So assume the diameter of the general D, small d, as 100 mm. From the table, we can see the table. So we find the ratio of the L by D. It is centrifugal pump varies from 1 to 2. Let's take L by D is equal to 1.6. So first we can see the tabular column. So L by D is 0.8 to 1.8, 0.7 to 1.4, 1.5 to 2.2. So you can take in as 1.6. So L by D equal to 1.6. So 1.6 means, so is the ratio between wrist pin, automotive, automobile and aircraft engine, so 1.6. So it ranges from 1.5 to 2.2. This is 1.6 can take into the problem. So therefore L is equal to 1.6 into D. That is equal to 1.6 into D small d means 100. That is equal to 160 mm. So we know that the bearing pressure P is equal to W by L into D. So substitute the values. W is equal to 20,000. So L is equal to 160. So small d equal to 100. That is equal to 1.25. Since the given bearing pressure for the pump is 1.5 Newton per mm square, therefore the above value of the P is safe, and hence the dimensions of the L and the D are safe. So next step, Zn by P is equal to 0.017 into 900 by 1.25, that is equal to 12.24. So from the table, so we find the operating value Zn by P is equal to 28. So we have discussed in article 26.14 the maximum value of the bearing module at which oil film will break the given by. So from the tabular column we can take the Zn by P is 28. So substitute the values. So 3K is equal to Zn by P. Therefore bearing modules at the minimum point of friction K is equal to 1 by 3 into Zn by P. That is equal to 1 by 3 into, so Zn by P is 28. So this value taken into the tabular column. This is finally local calculating K is equal to 9.33. Since the calculated value of the bearing characteristics number Zn by P is equal to 12.24, so it is more than 9.33. Therefore the bearing will operate under hydrodynamic conditions. So from table we find that the quotient of pumps, the clearance ratio C by D equal to 0.0013. So we know that the coefficient of friction mu is equal to 33 by 1 10 power 8 Zn by P into D by C plus K, that is equal to 33 divided by 10 power 8 into 12.24 into 1 by 0.0013 plus 0.002. So the quotient of finally we will calculate the quotient of friction mu is equal to 0.0031 plus 0.002, that is equal to 0.0051. Next we can calculate the heat generated. Qg is equal to mu into W into V. Since V is equal to pi d n by 60, this is the standard formula. So mu equal to W, mu into W into pi d n by 60 into W. So substitute the values. Mu is equal to 0.0051 into W 20,000 into pi into 0.1 into 900 by 60 into 900 by 60. So next we can calculating Qg is equal to 480.7 watts. So next we can calculating heat dissipated. So Qa is equal to Ca into Tb minus Ta. That is equal to C into L into D into Tb minus Ta. So this is 1 watt. Since A is equal to L into D, so we know that Tb minus Ta is equal to 1 by 2 into T0 minus Ta. That is equal to 1 by 2 into 55 degrees. One by 2 into 55 degrees minus 15.5 degrees. That is equal to 9.75 degrees. Therefore, Qd is equal to 1232 into 0.16 into 0.1 into 19.75. So finally local calculating the value Qd is equal to 389.3 watts. Since L and D are taken in meters, so we see that the heat generated in is greater than the heat dissipated, which indicates that the bearing is warming up. Therefore, either the bearing should be redesigned by taking T naught is equal to 63 degrees centigrade, or the bearing should be cooled artificially. So we know that the customer of artificial cooling requirement, that equal to heat generated minus heat dissipated minus Qg minus Qd, that equal to 480.7 minus 389.3, that is equal to 91.4 watts. So last, next you can calculate the mass of lubricating oil required for artificial cooling. So let M is equal to mass of the lubricating oil required for artificial cooling in kg per meter, kg per second. So we know that the heat taken away from by the cool oil, Qt is equal to M into S into T, that is equal to M into 1900 into 10, that is equal to 19,000 meter watts. Since specific heat of the oil, capital S, is equal to 1840 to 2100 joule per kg per degree centigrade. So next, equating this the amount of the artificial cooling required. So let M is equal to mass of lubricating oil required for artificial cooling in kg per second. So we know that the heat taken away from the oil, Qt is equal to M into S into T, that equal to M into 1900 into 10, that equal to 19,000 M meters into watts. Since specific heat of the oil S is equal to 1840 to 2100 joule per degree kg per degree centigrade. So equating these two amount of artificial cooling required, so we have 19,000 M, that equal to 91.4. Since some finally local calculating the M, therefore M is equal to 91.4 divided by 19,000, that equal to 0.0048 kg per second, that equal to 0. This will be converted to minutes, that equal to 0.2288 kg per minute. So next problem, the load of the general bearing is 150 kilonewton due to turbine shaft of 300 mm diameter running at 1800 rpm. So determine the following. So length of the bearing, if the allowable bearing pressure is 1.6 Newton per mm square. And second, amount of heat to be removed by the lubricant per minute if the bearing temperature is 60 degrees centigrade and viscosity of the oil at 60 degrees centigrade is 0.02 kg per meter second and the bearing clearance is 0.25 mm. So this is the problem. Just first of all, note on the given data. Given weight W equal to 150 kilonewton. This will be converted Newton. So 150 into 10 cube Newtons. Next, small d is equal to 300 mm. That equal to 0.3 meters. Next, speed N is equal to 1800 rpm. So P is equal to 1.6 Newton per mm square. Z is equal to 0.202 kg per meter per second. Clearance C is equal to 0.25 mm. First you can calculate the length of the bearing. Let L is equal to length of the bearing in mm. So we know that the projected bearing area. So area A is equal to L into D, that is equal to L into 300 L mm square. And allowable bearing pressure P is equal to 1 P equal to W by A, that is equal to 1.6 into W by A, that is equal to substitute the value 1.6, that is equal to W 150 into 10 cube by A, so 300 into L, that is equal to 500 divided by L. So therefore L is equal to 100 divided by 1.6. That is total. So length of the bearing. Therefore the total length of the bearing L is equal to 312.5 mm. So next you can calculate the amount of heat to be removed by the lubricant. So what are the amount of heat to be removed by the lubricant? So we know that the coefficient of friction for the bearing mu is equal to 33 by 10 power 8 Z into N into P into D by C plus K. So substitute the value, so that equal to 33 by 10 power 8. So Zn 0.02 into 1800 by P 1.6. So small d 300 divided by C 0.25 plus K 0.002. So finally we calculating mu is equal to 0.009 plus 0.002 is equal to 0.011. Next rubbing velocity V is equal to pi d n by 60. So pi is equal to 0.3 into 1800 by 60, that is 28.3 meter per second. Therefore amount of heat to be removed by the lubricant Qg is equal to mu into W into V, that equal to 0.01 into 150 into 10 cube into 283, equal to 46.683, 46.695 joule per second or watt. Since 1 joule per second, that equal to minutes. Since joule per second that equal to 1 watt. So finally we are calculating Qg is equal to 46.695 kilowatt. So next problem, a full general bearing of 50 mm diameter and 100 mm long has a bearing pressure of 1.4 Newton per mm square. The speed of the general is 900 rpm and the ratio of the general diameter to the dimensional clearance is 1000. There, the bearing is lubricated with the oil whose absolute velocity at the operating temperature of 75 degrees centigrade, so may be taken as 0.011 kg per meter second. So the room temperature is 35 degrees centigrade. So find the amount of artificial cooling required and the mass of the lubricating oil required if the difference between the outlet and inlet temperature of the oil is 10 degrees centigrade. Take specific heat of the oil as 1850 joule per kg per degree centigrade. So this is the problem. So first you can note down the given data. Given small d equal to 50 mm, that equal to 0.05 meter. So L is equal to 100 mm, that equal to 0.1 meter. P is equal to 1.4 Newton per mm square. So speed N is equal to 900 rpm. So C D by C equal to 1000. Z equal to 0.011 kg per meter second. T naught is equal to 75 degrees centigrade. TA equal to 35 degrees centigrade. T is equal to 10 degrees centigrade. So finally S is equal to 180 by 1850 1850 joule per kg per degree centigrade. So first you can calculate the amount of artificial cooling required. So we know that the coefficient of friction mu is equal to 33 divided by 10 power 8. So Z into N into P by D by C plus K. So substitute in the values 33 divided by 10 power 8 0.011 into 900 by 1.4 into 1000 plus 0.002. So finally we are calculating mu is equal to 0.00233 plus 0.002, that equal to 0.00433. Load of the bearing W equal to P into DL, that equal to 1.4 into 50, that is into 100 equal to 7000 Newton, and rubbing velocity V equal to pi d n by 60. Substitute the values, that equal to pi into 0.05 into 900 by 60. So finally we are calculating V is equal to 2.36 meter per second. Therefore, heat generated Qg is equal to mu V into W into V. So substitute the values mu V is equal to 0.00433 into W 7000 into V 2.36. So finally we are calculating Qg is equal to 71.5 joule per second. So let T be equal to temperature of the bearing surfaces. So we know that Tb minus Ta equal to 1 by 2 into T0 minus Ta. So that equal to 1 by 2 into 75 minus 35, that equal to 20 degrees centigrade. So next, since the value of the heat dissipation coefficient C for unventilated bearing varies from 140 to 420 watt per meter square per degree centigrade. Therefore, let us take capital C is equal to 280 watt per meter square per degree centigrade. So we know that heat dissipated Qd is equal to Ca into Tb minus Ta, that equal to C into L into D Tb minus Ta, that equal to Qd. So substitute the values 280 into 0.05 into 0.1 into 20, that equal to 28 watts. So finally the Qd is equal to 28 joule per second. So therefore amount of artificial cooling required, that equal to heat generated minus heat dissipated, that equal to Qg minus Qd, that equal to substitute the value 71.5 minus 28, that equal to 43.5 joule per second or watts. So next, mass of the lubricating oil required. So let M is equal to mass of the lubricating oil required in kg per second. So we know that the heat taken away from the oil, Qt is equal to M into S into T, that equal to M into 1400 into so mass of the lubricating oil required, let M is equal to mass of the lubricating oil required in kg per second. So we know that the heat taken away from the oil, Qt is equal to M into S into T, that equal to M into 1850 into 10, that equal to 18,500 meter joule per second. Since the heat generated by it, the bearing is taken away by the lubricating oil, therefore Qg minus Qt or 71.5 minus 18,500 meters. Therefore, M is equal to 71.5 divided by 18,500, that equal to 0.00386 kg per second. So this will be converted to minute. So finally, M is equal to 0.23 kg per minute. So next, another problem. So this is the last problem. A 150 mm diameter shaft supporting a load of 10 kN has a speed of 1500 rpm. The shaft runs in the bearing whose length is 1.5 times the shaft diameter. If the dimensional clearance of the bearing is 0.15 mm and the absolute velocity of the oil at the operating temperature is 0.011 kg per meter second, so find the max power washed in friction. So this is the problem. The given data is small d 150 mm, that equal to 0.15 meter, weight W is equal to 10 kilonewton, that equal to 10,000 newtons, speed N is equal to 1500 rpm, so L is equal to 1.5 into D, C is equal to 0.15 mm, Z is equal to 0.011 kg meter per second, kg per meter second. So we know that the length of the bearing, So L is equal to 1.5 into D, that equal to 1.5 into 150, that equal to 225 mm. So therefore bearing pressure P is equal to W by A, that equal to W by L into D, that equal to 10,000 divided by 225 into 150. Finally, we will calculating bearing pressure P is equal to 0.296 Newton per mm square. So we know that the coefficient of friction mu is equal to 33 by 10 power 8 Zn by P into D by C plus K. So that is substituting the values, that equal to 33 by 10 power 8. So 0.011 into 1500 by 0.296 into 150 by 0.15 plus 0.002. So finally mu is equal to 0.018 plus 0.002. So that equal to 0.02. And a rubbing velocity V equal to pi d n by 60, equal to pi into 0.15 into 1500 by 60, that equal to 11.78 meter per second. So we know that the heat generated due to friction Qg is equal to mu into W into V, that equal to substitute in the values. So mu is equal to 0.02, W equal to 10,000, V equal to 11.78. So finally you can calculating Qg is equal to 12,356 watts. So therefore power wasted in the friction Qg is equal to 2356 watts. This will be converted to kilowatts. Qg is equal to 2.356 kilowatts. So this is the final problem for the general bearing. Thank you.